NAVI, they have finally managed to find a win. And I have a sneaky feeling it might be the Sangren buff doing its magic here. That's right, I'm joined by Eric and Emil. Welcome, you guys.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
What have you been up to?
Honestly, kind of nothing.
Chilling.
Yeah, chilling, you
Relaxing
know.
a little
Relaxing, feeling like a human again. So.
But speaking of that, though, maybe it is a bit of a buff. I think you're here for their first game in a long time. They managed to win it. And we see Angel back on the Omen for the first time since, I think, February. Is this the fix? You reckon this is the right approach to put Xiao back on that Sova once again?
I think it's a good idea. Firstly, just to have his old roles, so kind of they remember who they are, where they come from, the success we had, and bringing those old roles kind of awake that muscle memory in them. And also favor just Angel being on the Omen, getting to do all the plays, you know, having fun. I think that's a lot of things we need to remember. Have fun on stage, you know, feel confident, feel like they can outplay the opponent.
We saw some shenanigans for sure, I think. Angel and Omen, we're always going to see something fun. But for you, though, Emil, in this scenario, you kind of need NAVI to fall here, trip up a little bit, get Gentlemates, get them on the board. So is it weird to kind of pray for NAVI's downfall?
I mean, it's not weird for us. They kind of make it easy for us to kick this guy. So I think we have a lower chance to win, to be honest. But yeah, I'm happy you're happy we're winning now. But I'm cheering for Gentlemates, so.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to chime in on this. You know, of course, Xiao back on that server. He looked amazing out there, clutching left, right, and center.
I think what he mentioned about having fun is kind of why we're doing good right now. I saw down there, laughing, shouting after clutches.
Yeah, the energy was super high. You know, I think that's what we needed. We needed to bring the energy to another step and actually, you know, support and scream, have some clutches. The old NAVI.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. But the next map, though, the good news is it's going to be Ascent. They haven't been super successful in the last couple of weeks, but it's still NAVI's Ascent. You know, Eric, you've been there through it all, every single win. Do you think this is the best thing that could happen to them right now? They get a win on Sunset, they can close us out on Ascent.
I mean, Ascent for us always have been our home ground, so to say. And I think now they got the taste of a win, you know? It's been so long, they got one map win, and we're going to Ascent, our home ground. It should be a 2-0. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but...
You jinxed it.
No, but Ascent,
jinxed.
For us, like we are the best Ascent team. Even when we're losing, in my opinion, in my heart, we are the best Ascent team.
Oh, Eric, it's so good to see you again. And Emil, thank you very much as well for your time. We'll see what happens to the fate of Team Liquid in just a moment. But for now, enjoy AIM Lab's warm-up with Natank.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks you also for coming to the studio. Hope you're enjoying it. Ash, welcome here back on the desk. We're looking at Natank here in the AIM Lab's warm-up. What do you make of his performance on that first map?
I think, well, Natank, obviously, he can shoot. We can see how good his mechanics are every single match that we see Natank in. But when it came down to this comp here on Sunset, it felt like we were going back towards the comp that they played previously in week 1. And they've changed comps 5 times on this map, and he just didn't look nearly as comfortable on that Sova. We saw him missing a couple of those recon lineups, even towards Elbow. They were flying off the map, and it makes you wonder, okay, have you been making now too many adjustments throughout this season? But now as we focus back on towards Ascent, this is a map that we look towards Gentlemates that haven't played it so far this split.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we only saw it one time during stage 1. Yeah. And the composition was very, very, you know, people had their eyes on it. The double duelist, but now they've changed everything. We were talking about Natank. He used to play on that Phoenix, that double duelist that made Gentlemates so interesting to watch. Now it's gone. Also changes on the sides of NAVI, Xiao back and fade, Angel and Omen, you know. Things are going right for once. But tell me, what do you think about Gentlemates going back or actually changing things to make the composition as simple as it is?
I mean, they were one of the few teams that was actually innovating on Ascent. When you look towards stage 2, it's realistically just been the deadlock for Fnatic, and then also looking towards Team Liquid when they're running that double duelist. But going back to what is comfortable here, the vanilla composition on Ascent, I'm not mad about it. I think that it is good for them to actually kind of reel that back in.
Okay, now we know how important this map is. Everything, the entire year could be done for Gentlemates if they do not manage to close it out. So let's toss it over to our experts and casters, Mitch and Tom.
Oh, wow, experts. I'll take that. Thank you, Kakuka, our expert host for the day. Well, Tom, NAVI, back to winning ways, back to old form in more ways than one. This could be an exciting Ascent.
This is the vintage 2023 comp. Like, this is the comp where if I think of Ascent, I think of NAVI, and I think of winning, I think of this composition. I'm also like, I think that the Gentlemates comp as a default composition is better. For them, I'm not so sure. Because I think the comp they were running before where it was like a Jet Phoenix is crazy out of the box, but that's where I always thought the mates played some of their best. Like, I loved when they were running like a Yoru Raze on Sunset and stuff like that. Like, it was a little bit crazy, but it was a little bit of Gentlemates. Whereas right now, this feels like a little bit dull.
Well, we heard it from a former coach. One of the best teams when it comes to Ascent, the best, I think was the exact verbiage. And
tooting his own horn.
Yeah, a little bit. I would have loved
This is his cough.
We used to be the best back in the day. Not sure about now.
Back, I would say, maybe like a few weeks ago.
Well, I wonder if he's given a little chef's kiss. Certainly cooked this one up nicely. Attack side, B site, already locked down and playing the post plant. This is where we critiqued NAVI on the previous map, but, well, I think we'll see a different face. Or rather, critiqued them on the previous map about previous games, not about the one we just saw. Here, though, as well, I don't expect to see many problems. Pistols in play, though. You never know. For mates, they'll come out swinging. The tank, Beyaz, and Kata. 3 big players on the way through. Shock Dart, it's good. A little bit of damage onto Angel. That's a headshot onto Angel. Almost took down Xiao as well. Now, with Zipbang gone, everyone's low. This should be an easy close. Big shots needed by NAVI to stay alive. Just one connected to the body will do it. For each with 4 HP left. It was so close. And the time all the way down. It is done for NAVI, 1-0. The pistol round post plant. Perfect.
Yeah, a Red Bull clutch to close it, and it's the spike that does the damage, but perfect. Yeah, I just think it's the amount of time. Like, they were a little bit unlucky on the mate side that those shock darts almost killed Xiao. Like, I think he was on like 5 HP, and he still manages to get 2 kills. Like, that is Xiao. This is the guy that we talk about, and even when you go back to their last game on this map where they lost to GX, he was fragging. Like, this was a game where he was incredibly good, and they still lost. He was back on the Omen. But now, this is his comfort choice, and that's the thing. Xiao, I don't think, has been anywhere near as inconsistent as everyone else. And he's been playing a role that he's good at, but it's not his best. This Fade is, for me, I think his best role. I think this is where, if he's going to have one of those crazy Xiao performances, it will be here. That, though, is a great start for Takas. He's managed to find one initially with an aggressive peek out A main. And considering he has, well, other than the Ghost, the only investment in this round, anything more he can do would be fantastic.
Yeah, very valuable opening pick. It was the dash used after he get aggressive in A main. Immediately he's back on A. No chance for a trade, even if there was someone close by. Now it becomes a little tough for NAVI. You can't go down to the numbers and the trades. They've got to come ahead in these fights. The Outlaw will certainly help. One shot onto any of these players on the defensive side, and they will go down. Nice skin also. Respect the skins. Drone's going to be destroyed, but the reveal could be dangerous. Luckily, he's behind a wall. And the Classics, not known for their high penetration.
No. Well, this is the thing. Any extra kills for mates is a rebought gun or a gun that's not going to be in the next round. The only thing that they have to, well, hope doesn't happen is from here on out, it's flawless for NAVI. Winning it, it's not going to be easy. Like, they just don't have the weaponry for that. And the time that they're already taking will put them in a pretty similar scenario to the last round. Sugetsu honed in, but it's going to be shut out. Just going to wait within already, looking for that reveal, but there hasn't been anything connected off of it. All the players sort of locked into the site. The first one goes the way of Ardis. He's isolated. He's going to go down. They seem to have an idea that Sugetsu's here, but the rest of the players now drop. Even still, that's going to be an extra gun, and potentially he could even remove the remainder. They've got to exit this site. They've got to get past Kadabra, who's just waiting on the corner. First his way. Can he get anything more? I think the Spike's going to do it for him. That is a great round for Gentlemates.
Yeah, you think back to the last map, it was mates going lights out in round number 2, saving most of their guns over. It put them in a decent position even after their opponents start winning rounds. For NAVI, that's not the case. This is a huge blow to them, and it means either they invest everything and this upcoming round will be the one that matters, that they need to win, or they play a very weak third round and a chance for mates to walk right back into the map. Looks like the decision.
Keep up.
A few seconds left before barriers go up. It's the extra cash on Angel invested into a hero rifle and the rest of the squad playing the eco. So not a lot of chances for Navi to do damage in this round. Certainly not an even fight, although Angel's won his first.
You have to assume this gun is immediately going to be juggled off to somebody else, although it has not been. As I said, you'd have to assume...
They all have shields, but give it to anyone.
The assumption is...
Really anyone.
No?
All right. Well,
Papa's got the Vandal, Papa's keeping the Vandal.
he turned back. I was like, no, Tom, look, he's... Nope.
Oh,
There we go. Hey!
We got there in the end. We got there in the end. It's going to go into the hands of Artists, but the thing is, the buy for the rest of the play is still good. The read, though, is not the best. Now, bear in mind, Kadavra does have himself from the shadows to take himself back over to the other side of the map, which has just happened.
It's being used up. Bayaz will be laying down cover and fire, but a lot of players already close, and let me tell you, this isn't where the Odin thrives. They can't do a damn thing. Stuck in position. HP is at least recovered, but the flash on the back of the cage is perfect. Paranoia, though, that slows them down, and the spams actually are a bit dangerous. They'll push in to try and deter any further kills, and, well, they've done that. Zipan and Zagetsu both picking them up. B site secured, weapons to be retrieved, and Traps even covering the way back in. It looks like mates are on the way out. They're leaving it. A site for the save, while Navi have managed to pull off an impressive third round. They had so many disadvantages at the start of the round, and they leave it with a lot of free weapons.
Yeah, I think solid utility. Like, the C's held both players stuck at the back of the site after the TP. You then had, I think, a solid pot flash. It meant that even though the Paranoia saved them, they couldn't actually capitalize off the back of it. And then it's just a numbers game. If 5 players go running at 2 players at the back of the site, even if you trade evenly, or even if you lose an extra man, it's still mass upgrades when they had such weak weaponry. That was 1 rifle and 4 pistols, and Navi have come out with 4 players on 4 guns. That is a huge third round for them, and it basically undoes all of the success of the previous round for mates.
Yeah, cancels it out completely. They had to find the reward early. I like the replay. Has him given the weapon over. It was a pivotal part of the round.
It was huge.
And for 3-0, a great start for Navi. Mates, well, they had the same thing on their map pick. It was swept out from under them. The Navi hitting form on a map like Ascent. It might be tougher to do here. Mates have a lot of weaknesses, and they're going to try to make up for that by going aggressive, getting an early fight inside of main, and, well, it works out. The shock dart trades Artis, and that's from the grave for Bayaz, a martyrdom shock dart. There's still a lot of weaknesses for the remaining players. 2 rifles, though.
Well, Xiao got himself a free Odin in the last round. He's going to try and put that to good use. It's double up of rifles in Pizza is definitely a bit of a gamble. A knife goes through, could give them up. Any utility placed there, and they'd be screwed. But it's more just a surprise factor. And well, Angel was definitely surprised. The rest of the team are going to try and just quickly make their move in. Bear in mind, this is still a weaker purchase. Taka's not revealed. Pop flash, they're going to try and play off it, moving as a unit, and it's going perfectly for Gentle Mates. And they know where Zipan is. He's been spotted. Even has a player coming in from behind him, completely surrounded. I don't think they're going to give this one up at all. They're just waiting for Kadavra to come in from behind and even just swinging off the contact. Really nice pay safe card thrifty coming out of Gentle Mates.
Back on the board, finding success. 2 rifles and pistols, but they make it work. Navi, you got to feel pretty tough about that one. Artis tried his best. They even had the counter spams coming through, but they weren't expecting that level of aggression on main and then coming out of the smoke. It's never a pretty way to have a site take go when so many players tucked in on mates, not blinded up by any flashes, any utility that came out, just striking as soon as the first contact is made. Now Navi look for a more direct approach to the A site. Late lurk maybe from Zagetsu. 2 players pushed up on main, space taken. Angel is running it down. He's already in line. He's crossed his site, trying to spam out heaven. He's not.
Don't you dare.
Okay. He is.
He is.
He's straight in. This man is now the entry of the team. In fact, the team is not with him. They're still pushing as if it's a normal take, but there's a man behind enemy lines. For now, there'll be no contact, but the spike is left behind, Tom.
Yep.
I really don't think that the idea is to full commit, and it seems like mates are getting that read as well.
But the funny thing is, if Angel got 1 kill, he could have TP'd back, got it, and planted, but unfortunately he is not. I also like how you said, is now the entry fragger. because if he ever wasn't, Sugetsu's lurk is going to help them out massively. It's kept 2 players on the other side, and they're also going to get all of the information of where the remainder are. Know they're safe to plant. Zipan also is going to get his ultimate online from the plant, and they have a late lurk coming in from Sugetsu as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was left outside B for the entire round, just sat waiting for his moment, and it will be coming up a little later. Artis might have to back off. Presumed there'd be a flash. It was dry peak, and the timing caught him off as well. Xiao backing off, creating a bit more space. Punk goes through. That's the last piece of utility. Well, actually on the other side, right? Zipan's popped his ult. He's canceling out anything from mates, slowing down their push, allowing time for Sugetsu to finish that flank, to find the value. Although they're already dropping into the site, looking for the duel. Zipan is eagerly awaiting them, but Sugetsu's left alone. And the time seems to already be too far gone. Big swing that he's denied of, but even still, it's not close enough. Red Bull clutch for Navi in the second round that goes the way of the spike.
Oh yeah, half of their rounds right now from the spike going off and just mates taking a little bit too long in these rotations. Yeah, sure, there's some utility that's denied them along the way, but it did seem like it took an awful long time for them to sort of group up and get back into position. And even though they're winning all of these fights relatively quick, if I'm being honest, it just nobody gets on that spike. Nobody's prepared to sort of sacrifice to get that spike to half, and well, that ends up being the problem. 4-1 now. Navi's economy still good enough for them to get onto the board for another round. They're already going to start farming up those ults again.
Yeah, same sort of presence that was shown last round. Remember, you got to be on guard after one Prowler goes through, because it could mean Angel's seconds away from teleporting onto the A site. So for mates, they take site control. They sit down, they wait, cam up, spotting all the crosses, making sure no one's up short, ton of information on that side of the map. And they have a lot of info in A as well. Look at the push-up. Nice crossfire. The tank and Takas. And it's Takas to take first contact. He'll fire off the op. Not even activate the dash. It's not needed, it's not used. Oh, the shot missed and they caught in the tank. Couldn't even be intentional. Just a nice pre-fire as they rounded the corner. Navi takes some damage, but no losses just yet. Those shots desperately close to eliminating Takas.
Oh, now Will! Artis goes back for a second bite of the cherry. And while his opposing Jet is lost. Again, we've seen this already. Close rounds for the side of mates, lost by a margin of seconds. Ones where we talk about, oh, the damage they're gonna do, and then the next round is almost squeaky clean from Navi. The response immediate. And it seems just off fine margins, maybe even slight miscommunication with Takas falling back much quicker than his teammate. And Sugetsu, always that knife in the back. It's something they're gonna be wary of, and with the trip still available, wow, they definitely know where he is now.
It's impressive, man. Navi with their back against the wall. They just wield those disadvantages, wield that pressure like a blade and cut through whoever's in their way. Playoffs still within sights. With each passing round, closer and closer to being within their grasp.
But did Bayaz swing? Bayaz had an operator. They've just lost the operator in the last second of the round. I think he must have peeked into Artis, but for the life of me, I can't work out why. Like, Artis was... Oh, man. That's just silly. That's, like, I understand you've got an operator, but that's just silly.
I mean, what's the benefit? You kill Artis. Okay, they have one less weapon. Firstly, he has Bladestorm. Secondly, they have money.
They had 4 players.
And you know what you don't have? Money. So that's silly. Yeah. That's a silly little mistake, and one that will haunt him in this round as he's now forced to use a much less impactful weapon.
Also, it would have been, the operator would have been Takas.
Yeah, Takas is fuming.
Oh. Maybe they're going to win this round anyway. The fragment's going to put Takas in a horrible spot. The trade's not bad. They're doing damage. Wayless wants to continue. I don't know if he knows there's another player in this corner, but he's won the fight anyway. And both players now tagged low. The spams not quite connecting. The tank has now retrieved the gun as well. This is one of the best opportunities we've seen in a while. For the side of mates, they know exactly where this guy is. And whoa, he runs out of bullets. It puts it down to the 1 versus 1. And the tank is going to be waiting, and he wins that battle. Maybe that punish wasn't there after all, as somehow this is the round the mates win.
Attackas really has to be fuming as well. They might have won the round, but second time in a row, he's been spammed through a smoke by Artis. Yeah. I mean, it's got to start to grind his gears. 1 and 6. But for Mates, 2 rounds on the board, locked in by what is, I'll say, an unusual victory. Even after losing, winning the opening fight, technically, but then seconds later, the advantages swing back in the other direction. Great work done by Whalers. Yeah. And if he had a few more bullets, he might have closed it out himself, but luckily he had the tank to back him up. There's still lots of space to grow in this half, many more rounds to play for. Navi, much slower. Look how spread out they are. They want to fight for middle control, and again, the lands between the sites will be where the battle goes down. The tank and Kata already pushed up close. We'll see how this develops over the round.
Yeah, you look back at NAVI victories on this map. Back at Split 1, you're talking about 9 rounds twice on attack, 7 rounds versus BBO on attack. So this is normally where they thrive. Even in the defeat to Foot, they had 7 rounds on their attack side, and it was more of the surprise of GX, where they had a very poor attack, a rarity, and I think that's why they've switched back to having Xiao on that initiator. Here, though, the economy's on the brink. Like, you see this round go the way of Mates, and you could be looking at a 5-4 scoreline before there's even another response. Takas seems like he's going to be the one under pressure, waiting with the operator. Shot not connected, and he needs to get out.
Yeah, it's time to just fall back and reset. Other teammates way too far away as well. Could be an overpeak. For a second, I thought Artis would jump up, but he's tucked much further back. Navi have the time now. Spinning towards them. Door's going to be broken open. Post plant. It's a very late lurk attempt if Sugetsu's going for it. I'm not sure that he even will. Just covering his back. What a spam. Takas was seen and taken down. Xiao looking to do a little bit more. Down below as they fall, he's the one to swing to keep the boxed in from back of Jenny. They try to trade it out. Xiao's down to just a classic, not much damage to be done. There's the late lurk from Sugetsu, but it might be too late. Angel has to try to take them off that spike. It's already halfway. Good damage, but the spams need to come in now. And he's got it across the line. Bayaz with a Red Bull clutch. The numbers were against them, but they make it work.
Yeah, I think just being able to isolate Xiao was enough. Like, that was where just the angles just weren't quite there. As you said, Sugetsu just a little bit too far behind. And this time, well,
I'll find you.
Finally going to see, yeah, this was just nasty. Like, that was just a Xiao setup. Again, this is why we want to see him on that initiator, but then being able to deal with him a little bit later in the round, the sacrifice of Natung for the team. Well, we already know he's about it. Artis, well, with a weapon you wouldn't be expecting to see, but it's more so the fact that he has the Blade Storm to play with.
This play a bit more pointed from Navi. Short fight about to go down. It's Cadaver to fall, but Whalers is still here and holding strong. They filled in the space on mid. Sure, there's 2 kills, but a third player there as well. Navi clean it all up, but Whalers is still putting up a fight. 3 kills to his name, and an ace needed to close this round out. The spike is down in front of him. That's the advantage he's playing with. And Traps on the A site. It seems he's going to make the cerebral play, make the rotate ahead of time. If they go towards the A site, there's Traps. He'll have the information, even has a cam as well. He's going to stick around. You know, if you're on the attack, there's a good chance you think he's fallen back and played the B site, having the info on A.
Camera taken out.
Wonder if they'll be caught off guard by this position.
The cam may almost give it away. The fact they've been picked up, they know he's not in main. They haven't taken out that pin yet, so Zipan is still being given up. There's only one angle that they haven't checked, and now he's shot the bullets. They're going to try and fight this one together. Good decision by NAVI, and a nice attempt from Whalers. It would have had to be the ace to close out that round. I also want to say that, I don't know if you saw what Angel did in that round. He TPs through his own smoke there. You see it, and then gets 2 kills. It's just, it's madness. Like, I think it was, yeah, this one just coming out of the smoke. I think actually Sugetsu got the kill, but it is just craziness from the IGL to try and support the rest. And unfortunately, when you have one player alive from a, well, basically a ninja defuse, unfortunately that wrecks your economy. So Mates, as said, they could have got back to an even scoreline, but instead, they're now that little bit further behind.
Mates might secretly be Fnatic fans. They used to be Summon FC, the Bucky FC. came after that, and they've gone for 2 of their own. The tank and Whalers rocking these shotguns. They're not easy to use. Certainly not the most popular weapon in the league, but oh, they're still dangerous. And the tank is showing. Well, he's showing how dangerous it is up close, and how on long range you don't really have to fear it. Zagetsu does well, cleaning up Beyaz. Information now about to be there, but the shot from Takas, the Blade Storm still lurking as a threat, and they're going towards it. Both players fighting for this control. They tried to isolate them out in the back, but it's Takas they need to be worried about. He's got another, the rifle out to clean house. 4 kills for Takas and 4 rounds for Gentlemates.
That's another pay safeguard, Thrifty. This game has not gone the way that in most of the cases that it should, it seems. A couple of rounds where the Spike has won it. This time it's the individual presence of Bucky and the Blade Storm of Takas with a little bit of help from his friends, but that's such a big round for them to win, and Navi are going to take a pause of their own. I think realizing that some of these have been firstly too close for comfort already, but losing to a sneaky defuse, a Blade Storm, when you're the ones with the advantage has got to be frustrating. And not wanting to let these rounds slip, because again, as said, like they're normally more dominant on the attack side where they're winning, especially again, looking back to this composition where it was run before.
I think what surprised me about that round, though, Thomas, is the sense of trepidation as they move towards every angle. They're so cautious, so slow, and you see that manifest in like one player going for the peak. Like there's not a pacey attack. There's not a shift in direction after players are spotted, and so they go blind in. Like what you do on a buy round. Oh, here, flash me in. I'll see if they're there. I'll take the fight. But on a low buy, that's a big risk. Even blinded up, Bucky's got a good chance to get you. You know, you just have to feed the timing of I've been blinded, someone's about to swing, click. And this time around, if you look at a lot of those fights, even the last 2 coming out of the smoke towards the site, it allows for Takas to just fire the blades into the smoke, and he's getting all 5 off before anyone's even thinking about coming out. It's slow, it's respectful, and I think it wasn't what was needed in a round like that.
Cadaver's definitely been seen. Could be forced to retreat now. The expectation was that this was going to be a B hit. You can see they've got the Cypher set up, majority of players there. It's just going to have to be a retake on this one. The afterplant, it's not something you really want to allow NAVI to have, especially bear in mind, they may not have the weaponry on every single player, but they do have themselves the Nightfall. Immediate response. They're going to try and get in nice and fast, but already that Nightfall's been used. And a trade to start things off, and the tank's done well. And in fact, Whalers has come up with another. It's only going to be left onto one. Artist with not the gun you'd want in this scenario, and he's going to get cleaned up as well. Much pacier, much more punctual from the side of Gentlemates. And now they're within just 1.
Oh yeah, they're catching that team off guard. Right back into the fray. Ult pushing players. Like once Nightfall comes in, they're all running underneath, trying to take cover. And the best part about it is you've got Beyaz just raining down hellfire from above. A shower of lead on those players below. And well, it wasn't even needed until the last second when it amounts to suppressing fire. They had so many
misreads as well. Like that Nightfall from Xiao goes towards short, because that's when they've been retaking from the most of the time. Every single player in that moment immediately runs straight out heaven. I don't think the Nightfall hit anybody on Gentlemates, and if it did, the player it hit was irrelevant to the round.
Yeah, it plays as a point of contact. They've used that. They're going to fight for control. Let's bring the fight to them. And the fact that so many of Navi's players are just stuck underneath, it's a tough angle to fight back out from. Mates, hot on their heels, 1 round behind at this point and looking to equalize at the half. It's Takas with an aggressive push-up. He's being spotted by the Prowler, and the dash is used, but there's no safe space. Navi have already filtered out onto the site. They've taken control in main. Good flash. He's blinded. Gets away with a bit more than I expected. Beyaz shutting down Angel as well. Getting a free kill onto the laneway, and Navi stalled with low HP on Zipan. There's no easy solution to this round.
Yeah, Cadaver's teleported into support as well. So what would have been a 1-man defense, Beyaz now has support. And already Sugetsu, he was trying to make a play out, but losing that fight, not going to help them. Beyaz, well, there's no way you're going to get past an Odin with 5 HP. You'd need an absolute miracle. And speaking of miracles, that's what we need from Artist. Not going to be the case. Just like in the last map, an early start for one team and a resurgence. But this time, Mate are on the other side of it.
Well, we almost warned about this early on. We saw NAVI steam into the lead, but similar as well to the first map. It just felt like they were a different beast. They were against a team that they were outmatching, and all of that changed. We start to see mates much more proactive in some of those later fights, in getting ahead of the retakes, or getting ahead of the post plants, not letting NAVI get into a decent position, execute off their utility, and mates with a real chance. The pistol round carrying some value for this squad. Whalers has been unbelievable. 14 and 7 at the moment on the Cypher, and a lot of big rounds from him, even in terms of just keeping that NAVI economy low like the almost ace he had. As we look at Navi's defense, no idea of aggression, no early fights. They're spread out, just looking for the information, allowing mates to make the first move, and it looks like the attackers are very keen to do that. Lots of players on short. This camera's about to get some information. There's a Paranoia primed and ready for Angel afterwards, and that's where the swing from Sagetsu could do so much, but he's moved back to put a smoke down, and that's when the push comes through. Paranoia actually catches quite a lot. The reaction is perfect. The reaction to peek out into an attack, not so much. That was a 5 versus 3 thrown away for over-aggression on short, and now the defenders are spread thin across a pretty big map.
Time is good for Zipan. Getting out of this might be difficult, but never mind. He's taken over and left it down to just Kadavra. A 1 versus 2. Something that could kickstart either side's second half. And he's going to try and just be patient here. The re-aggression could be punished. They're peeking this one together. He's won that first duel. Tagged low, even lower in fact. As another bullet will connect, but he's just going to try and retreat out of this one. Xiao unable to stop him. Or put this down into the 1 versus 1.
30 seconds
already. They're wary of the cross, wary of somebody peeking out from heaven. Just bear in mind that Xiao does have himself the haunt ready and available, but he might just look for the element of surprise. The door cannot be closed. In fact, that haunt is not going to connect, and Xiao, he's actually started running in the other direction. The plant being tapped, I don't know if he's going to hear it, he will, and that's the immediate run back.
Still a bit of space bought by Kata. I don't think he's heard any of those steps. It's a contact. Xiao's walking through. He's gone straight through the smoke. He's caught him perfectly back around Jenny. There's no way Kata expects him to be here already. An advanced position for Xiao, but he still doesn't know where Kata is. It's a game of cat and mouse, and we don't know who the mouse is just yet. With 28 HP, it could be Kata, but he's got him. The side angle. A rat on the side. And he packed quite a bite. 7-6. The lead is for mates.
Oh, such a huge round from him. Being able to escape from a corner that looked like an unstoppable position. Again, I think this early fight, like, Navi themselves just getting a little bit ahead of things, and even then, Zipan saved the day with 2 kills in middle. But it wasn't quite as good as this clutch out from Kadavra, even trading that and then finishing things off with some perfect positioning. That will be mates now into the lead, and some sheriffs. All that's on the board for Navi.
I think I can summarize the last round for NAVI. It's me with a bag of jellies, just one more. Just one more. Every time. They kept going out for more. Even Zipan, he takes 2, stands in the open with a flash because he thinks there's another player close. If you just fall back, you just wait it out, they had it. 5v3, 3v1. But each step of the way, they falter. They go back for another. That's a big mistake. Mates, as you said, they're not facing off against a very heavily armed militia, but NAVI have a lot of players in the right position. It seems to be at the right time. Just depends whether mates decide to go back. Remember, they've got players on the other side of the map. They've got some control, got the ability to rotate, and they'll do that now. But yeah, a weapon to be retrieved by NAVI, and perhaps even a chance for Angel up close. The timing is everything, and the shots landed by Whalers at least.
Oh, NAVI, I guess, so nervous about retrieving that weapon that they've actually left it. Maybe just realizing that them having it is going to be more problematic. Nice work from the tank. What was a dangerous round now becomes what looks like a done deal. The danger seemingly gone. It will be a rifle that's dissipated, something that is going to be a little bit frustrating. I don't think they're going to have time to go and get that one back unless somebody leaves now, but I guess if Kadavra is just going to continue to kill everyone, maybe he'll be able to afford an extra one anyway.
2-round gap. Mates build the early lead. Like you said, NAVI, they drop that weapon. It's a little bit of cost. And there's 2 facets to it. They don't go for the rifle on one condition. There could be someone lurking there. You lose another player, and the round chances just completely fall apart. Better to group up and try to take the hit. But the other thing is, yeah, you're bringing back the rifle to them, and your teammates not likely to win their fights in 1-to-1. So at least that cost is passed forward to this round. But even still, Mate's economy is pretty healthy. On the side of NAVI, defensive aggression is going to be employed early. Angel on the choke point, and yes, he had support, but it didn't look like he needed it. Gorgeous play, and Gentlemates, they even invested into some more rifles. I think everybody had one coming into this round. Yeah. Now just a 5 versus 3 for their trouble.
Oh, Angel, he's gone back for a little more. I can't say I'm a huge fan. He's on 55 HP. He's playing an off angle. Timing's everything. It's going to give more of an individual peak. They're going to look to try and push off this. A passive position from Artist has done a lot of damage, but Angel might be about to fall. Another scenario where they have a huge advantage is being brought back, but not for very long. Zhao, though, well, it's Natank in his ult, but the ult's not going to keep him alive, that's for sure. 12 HP. Again, it would have to be a mistake for him to manage to take this.
Oh, a big mistake. The only good thing is that NAVI are split, but with 35 seconds left, it's not like he's going to go rotate into B, and there's utility waiting from there if he does. All they need to do is wait for that plant, and the tank needs to use that.
Yeah, look at where Zhao is. He's gone so passive because he's like, okay, there's only one spot that he might push. Either he's going to go back to mid or he's going to try and fight me. So I'm just going to sit as far away as humanly possible. And for the tank, there's even an argument here of, do I just try and hold on to the rifle? Do I just bring that into the next round to give me something? Instead, he's going to plant safe. And he's actually managed to get it down. As you said, both of these players isolated. The Haunt's going to give it away of the exact corner he's in and wants to get to is just waiting. But again, he's managed to cross. He's managed to take just that little bit of extra space. The individual fight almost granted, but they still haven't cleared him just yet. Eventually, it will be Doomsday as expected. But even still, maybe a little bit more costly than Navi would have liked.
Doomsday? He's not here anymore.
Just be over there.
Yeah, that's true. It can be your day. You can be both the Doom Bros days. 8-7. Very nice stuff from NAVI, and I like this much more controlled face to them. The patience in that late play. Again, some of those previous rounds, looking back at the last map, Sunset as well, I think it was a lot of the problems. The reason that we saw Mates have so many rounds to start with. One more. I can just go out for that one more. Make the play. And now, well, they've certainly overcome that problem in the 2 versus 1. Coming into round 16, rifles for both teams. Bay has the only weakness for the squad. Ultimates not really stacked up for either team's favor, although I will say the neural thefts have been decent so far. I mean, given a lot of information, allowing for rotations. Although I remember the round they used it on Mates, and players were in mid hidden by smokes, and yet still Angel was able to find 2 kills.
But this is just a huge round for economy. Both teams are almost at 0. And the tank, Cadaver a little bit above, and the same for Artist on the other side, alongside Sugetsu. Everyone else is as close to 0 as you can really get. It looks like the play once again is going to be try a hit into this A site. The spams have actually done a decent amount of damage, but Artist is going to be able to escape. Swung back though, and that's almost too easy a kill. Running through the cages, they're giving the fights. It's a whiff though. And Artist doesn't really need to fight this. He still wants to continue to play around the edge of the smoke, giving the fight over. It's a shaky one, but he's got Angel alongside him. The deadly duo. Whalers. He's been good. Not this good.
Okay. He's going to get one more, but 17-9. That's all it amounts for, is KD. There's no way to get back through that door, take down these players, and stop the defuse all in time. NAVI have found the round win. They've equalized it up. And after Mates taking pistol and getting that little injection of rounds, I think the defensive side feels pretty good about where they're at. That was a big round for economy, like you said, Tom. For NAVI, it would have destroyed them. For Mates, it seems like they will get a second lease at life, although there will be a lot of weaknesses for the next. And they've even called a timeout here, seeing that this could be a turning point in the series.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be able to get rifles, maybe with the light shields for a few of the players, which, again, there isn't anything in play on the Navi side that would really change too much about that. Ult economy, not massively important for either side. Most ultimates a couple away at least. And what it is coming down to crunch time. To put this in perspective once again, Na'Vi win, they are in playoffs. Nothing can be disputed in that regard. Gentlemates lose, they are out. Again, nothing can change that. If Gentlemates win, they're still not through yet, but Na'Vi are out. And they're going to be looking at Carmine Corp to try and take that victory in the next game for them. That'll be they have to win this and the next map, of course. And on the other side of things, Team Liquid are sat there, Emil's sat there, and he's going, okay, well, I need Gentlemates to knock out Na'Vi, and then for Vitality to save us, which, I don't know if you've seen Safe's recent tweet. He has said he's not planning on doing. But that's something that we have to look at if Gentlemates can turn this around. If not, it's very simple. Na'Vi through, both Liquid and Mates are done. I've been farming these orbs up. The last couple of rounds have just been Beyaz picking up every single orb. There's clearly a real desire to get that Hunter's Fury. Of course, it's so good to sort of work alongside Takas, having that Hunter's Fury in combination with him dashing into the site. For the Na'Vi side, quite a bit of presence into mid. The combination of Xiao, hardest jump peeking, and now Angel there to join him. Looks like they want to challenge this one. Zipan's gone out as well. It's a 4-player mid push. They've seen nothing, and instead they're now going to be pressured on the other side.
That could be a chance for Whalers. The spot's going to be open on short with Zagetsu down. Manpower starting to dwindle for that Na'Vi side. Only one player on short now, and even less in heaven. Angels drop. Zipan good for one. Cloudburst has covered him all for a moment, given the avenue for Takas to take him down. All the kills go in the way of Mates, and, well, even if Artis found one more, Whalers was right behind him. There was no way out. 9 rounds on the board for Mates, a much more direct round, and great success found just out of A main. And the fact that they have that little curveball of Whalers moving through mid, having it be, with mid having been cleared, what, 10 seconds before?
Yeah.
I don't think there was much Navi could do.
Well, that was the thing. I think this came down to Mates almost just, firstly having the information, because Whalers will have heard everything, but also they've hit A that many times in a row. Like, I think that's 3, maybe even 4 times in a row now they've gone towards that A side. So it's almost just a ruse. It's like hedging the bet that Na'Vi won't stack that up again, left it onto Zagetsu. This round is a mixed bag buy. A Guardian, Angel with a rifle, and well, they've just spotted everyone within the smoke. It's not pretty. An even trade. Xiao hasn't been seen. He's lurking in the smoke, but it's still just going to be the 1-for-1. Still, though, with the weaponry that was put in, for Na'Vi, that's not too bad. This next fight could be absolutely everything. Beyaz, I don't know if the trail has given him away. Zagetsu only with a pistol, and he doesn't win the battle.
Oh, but Angel might. He's got the perfect timing, and now he's got the spike.
Down B.
Smoke for main, knowing Beyaz was there not long ago. Beyaz no drone, although now is not the time to use it. Has the reveal and 2 shocks. Good utility to work off of. Needs to recover that spike and might even try to hightail it afterwards. Has the time to rotate, but getting out there is the problem. So many nasty angles Angel could be hiding inside of. 40 seconds on the clock. It still looks like he'll have time after he gets it, that he won't have to commit. And Angel is hedging his bets a little bit. He spotted the spike is still there. No need to play greedy. No need to over-aggress. And where is Beyaz going to look as he makes his way out? I think he saw him. I think he caught an angle on Angel, and, well, Angel's now got the info, but at a heavy cost. He's tagged down to 48 HP. I think the barrel gave him away. The TP, does he cancel?
Does he cancel?
No, he commits it. And Beyaz has made the perfect read.
It's basically the bait and switch, but Angel's got this one completely wrong. I better wish he had that TP once again, because it is going to be the plant. And the worst thing as well is already tagged, there's a Hunter's Fury available. Now, I don't know if Beyaz would take the risk and use it here. It's probably not the time to try and attempt something risky. But at the same time, it's still going to be the battle of the brains. The IGLs, the leaders of the team, to level things up, or for Mates to take a further lead. Beyaz is just waiting on the angle, and he does not miss a beat. 10-8, lead extended. And Mates a few rounds away from doing exactly the same that Na'Vi did to them, and taking it to split.
Watching that round from Zipan's perspective was perplexing. The guy's running back and forth through a smoke with a Guardian, not able to hit anyone, understandably, considering the scenario. Look at that. There it is.
Just a pixel.
The crouch gave him away. Just a little too wide. No, he was. That's the disadvantage, right? You're further in Bayaz's position. He's further away from the wall, so he can see that player a little easier than the guy who's right up next to it, because your eyes are in the middle of your head in this game, at least.
Now, bear in mind. Oh, that's a lot of information. I was going to say that was a weaker buy. That was a Blade Storm, a couple of rifles, and some pistols. A very fast-paced take. They're being caught by absolutely everything. That chip is still there, lads.
They've just give up on it.
It's too difficult. Can't do anything about it. Already, that Blade Storm's going to dissipate. It's a lot of damage, but damage to either side. A quick rotation from Xiao to support. They are going to be seemingly committing. Angel still at the back of the site. Paranoia available, but it's already been bypassed. Taka, even while on low HP, is going to win that battle.
And running. That was a crazy shot. Nice return by Zipan, but they need a little bit more. Lots of ultis there for Gentlemates. The plant coming in now. The tank can return the favor that Zipan had just a moment ago. The null command. Not even sure if they need it at this point, though. Numbers advantage. Takas low. Bayaz with a Hunter's Fury. He's on site, though. Won't be post-plant usage. Won't be to deny that defuse. Instead, they'll be taking fights, scrapping together. This could be dangerous if Takas is the first one to fall. Numbers can equalize very quickly. Low HP on Bayaz, and he swings again. He is dropped, and now they know where the tank is. A good idea. There should be a player in main, and Whalers connecting the kill gives it away. But the info is hard to execute on with such low HP. It's 11-8. Gentlemates closer and closer to bringing us to split.
Yeah, they've found their footing. 3 rounds in a row. They managed 5 of the last 6. When it came to the previous half, they've been on a climb ever since. And from what was mostly just a Whalers performance has quickly turned into a team performance overall. For Xiao, it hasn't been the return to the agent that was so beloved in the past. He's definitely having a rougher time when it comes to the fade, and NAVI now have one more shot to try and stem the bleeding, to try and patch up whatever problems they're having, which, well, I'll be honest, seem to be a fair few, as they now need to win a fair few rounds, 5 in a row, if they're going to take this in regulation.
It's a big task. It's an uphill battle, but one foot in front of the other. Team like NAVI always capable of it. The disadvantage, though, their economy in a shaky spot. 4 ultimates for Gentlemates, as you can see on your screen, and a few of those pretty high impact. The fact that the tank didn't burn up the null command last round definitely stands to them for getting through to the sites. We're getting past Sugetsu's utility. It's something that NAVI very much have to think about, and they've had their time out to discuss. But now we'll see the barriers go up, and it seems like Gentlemates going back to winning ways. The formula before, a much more aggressive, fast-paced hit. The A site seems to be the target once again.
The hero rifle, not in the right place. Flash. It actually slowed them down a little bit. They are going to make their way into the site. Bear in mind that Hunter's Fury is still online. But they can opt to play the post plant. That's exactly where Bears is sitting. This retake's not going to be easy. Now, there is a Nightfall available if NAVI want to throw it in, but bear in mind this is still a weaker purchase. It would be a risk.
Sure, we're going to see that, and with the push already coming through, we're definitely not. Up close, though, revealed. Takas down. Hunter's Fury doing some damage. Artist dodges it, and he's right back in the fight. 3 versus 2. Pressure on for Bayaz and Cadaver's stuck down below. He's already tagged Artist, and the correction is there. With Xiao on the floor, it's all on to Angel, but Kata doesn't stop. 12-8. Split in their sights, and 4 chances to get there. Gentlemates, what a recovery.
Yeah, they are climbing back into this game. Split, looking inevitable. I think after their early start on that first map and having things slipped away, it would have been easy to count them out of this match, count them out of the series, and more importantly, count them out of the year. They would have been done if this map hadn't gone their way, and now, just one of the next 4, they go to split, and they have a chance at survival.
Reveal's not going to catch Artis. He's safe for a moment. A lot of noise being heard in A main. This is where you expect to see that little bit of extra aggression. Maybe in B, deep reveals and so on. Mates have all the information thanks to a cam spotting mid push and a trap sat outside of B main. They know their flank is nicely secured for now. Might even send Whalers for late flank. Depends on the success as they make it to the site already. One wire going to be destroyed. Another around Jenny. Nice spray by Taka. Sagetsu, though, crept onto the site in the chaos. It's Angel up top, drawing the eye of his opponents. They might not be ready for someone to be so close, but Kata's caught him inside the smoke, looking for more, and it's done it again. 3 kills as Artis falls. It's only Xiao left. And mates, well, you can definitely tell. We said Navi backed into a corner, back against a wall. They look scary. They come out swinging. Seems like mates, seems like Kadavra doing just the same.
It's got Nightfall. It's got all 3. It's got all 3. That'll be the information, or at least I think it did.
It did, yeah, for sure.
But he's still looking in other directions. The player's currently at least that little bit lower, but he's got to try and wipe them all out, and it is not going to happen. This series will go the distance, and only one will survive.
Oh, they dug deep for that comeback, but they showed they've got it in them. Gentlemates still with some fight and split coming up next. Somewhere that, look, Kadavra looked fantastic on this map. He looks scary when it comes to split. A big challenge for Navi. Map 3 after the break.
Super les gars, super, 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 super les gars, BG les gars, super, let's go, super les gars, super les gars, BG les gars, super, super les gars, nice, allez.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. I, Caballo Grande. I, Dolor de Nieve. But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.